Chapter 8. What's next? It appears we've just about reached the end of our journey. By this point in the book, you should have a pretty comprehensive understanding of Bitcoin and the basics of the blockchain. A lot less complicated than you thought, right? What's next? What else is out there? If you were to open a website like CoinMarketCap or some other site that compiled all of the information about different blockchain-related technology, you would come to find that there is not just Bitcoin, but dozens of coins and hundreds of tokens. What's the difference? Why do you need coins other than Bitcoin? What does the future hold for this technology? And how might this change the world we live in? What's the difference between a coin and a token? First things first, what differentiates coins from tokens? A coin is a cryptocurrency that has its own dedicated blockchain. Bitcoin would be a coin. Ether, part of the Ethereum network, is a coin, as well as many others. Many coins have the ability to have applications built on top of their dedicated blockchain. These applications are called dApps, or decentralized applications. These dApps often require the use of tokens in order to implement their functionality. Tokens are economic incentives present within a dApp to influence user behavior. Simply, a coin has a dedicated blockchain, and a token is found within a dApp. Coins have cross-contextual application, and tokens have value within their decentralized network. Tokenize everything. Within the network, tokens can do so much. We have only begun to unlock the power of tokenomics. Tokenomics is simply the study and design of token-based economies. This sounds a bit far-fetched. Why would you need to specifically examine the attributes of a token-based economy? Shouldn't the tokens simply function like money functions in our economy? Well, not quite. In our economy, the design of our currency gives it much more power as an item to spend than it does as an item to save. If you save dollar bills, due to the rate of inflation, they eventually become worthless. Saving money is important, but the value of that money progresses towards zero. Cryptocurrencies aside, it's very possible that you've run into other economic models, token economic models even. In your classroom growing up, maybe there was some incentive system based around how many stars you received. You would perform specific tasks. These tasks would earn you a star. If the stars accumulated, you could get different rewards at different levels. This is likely the most basic and most familiar token economic model you've experienced. As adults, we participate with token economic models daily on social media. Most social media platforms function as follows. You create content. This content is viewed by other members of your platform in exchange for likes. The more likes you get, the more attention you get, and this attention hacks into the dopamine receptors of your brain to reward you. Some platforms even allow for you to reshare posts, this being a higher reward than a simple like. Some platforms have upped the ante even further and integrated actual economic incentives into this attention-backed token economy. Believe it or not, our societal structure has quickly begun to shift because of token economic models. These dApps are using the blockchain and economic incentives, amongst other things, to influence behavior on their network. Whether that be Golem, who gives users tokens for contributing their computer's computational power to this network. This decentralized network of computational power creates a supercomputer, but for far cheaper. When you're designing a token economy, it's very important to consider the behavior you want to transpire in your network. For example, if you have too few coins, each coin is worth significantly more, thus increasing the coin's intrinsic value. The members of the network would be incentivized to not spend their tokens, but to hoard them instead. Self-governance. Once you've begun to drink the blockchain Kool-Aid, you begin to see that there is unlimited potential found within decentralized applications. The transformative power that the internet promised begins to feel like will actually come to pass. A global decentralized network run by the people of this world and for the people of this world. The potential to dissolve nation states and create a world of self-governance. But what will that look like? Due to the decentralized nature of the blockchain, we have begun to work on models of governance that resemble our physical modes of government, but are decentralized and tokenized on the blockchain. Previously, we have taken a look at proof-of-work coins, but as time has gone on, more systems of self-governance have arisen. Most commonly, the proof-of-stake and delegated proof-of-stake models. Let's begin with the proof-of-work model. Energy expenditure is taken to be the digital equivalent of labor, thus providing value for the network. This value is also used as confirmation. Each of the nodes check to see which chain is the longest, and that chain, because it has the longest amount of verified work, is considered to be the real chain. The simplicity of this method shines because there can be no dispute about which chain has done the most work. Thus, they reach consensus. Proof of stake has become another popular method for governance. Essentially, wallets can stake or put up their coins to the network. These coins cannot be used, but they represent how invested that party is in the success of the network. Thus, whenever a vote needs to be held, the wallets with the largest stake are given the most power in the decisions of the network. These wallets have the most to lose, so they should also be the most motivated to vote in favor of the network's success. From the proof-of-stake model has come an alternative version, the delegated proof-of-stake model. Just like the proof-of-stake model, nodes stake their coin, but now specific nodes are chosen to be representatives. These representatives can be replaced if they lose their reputation in the network. These representatives have the majority of the voting power, and they collectively make decisions for the network. This allows for consensus to be reached relatively quickly. Real-world applications. When you see the rapid growth of cryptocurrencies, it becomes very easy to get tunnel vision and to only conceptualize the blockchain as a means of verifying the transfer for wealth. But it is important to think outside the box and extrapolate on ways this technology can be transferred to other applications. Let's start with the first principles. Number 1, public ledger. Number 2, trustless verification. Number 3, decentralized. Any real-world application that can benefit from these intrinsic properties of the technology are possible applications of the blockchain. At the moment, the United States is having a gun control problem. There are many public shootings and many people are dying. The American people do not want to give up their guns in totality, and why should they? The US is a very large country. It has all types of terrain and all kinds of economic situations. Some people hunt for their food or their occupation. Attempts have been made to regulate guns to keep them out of the hands of those that are mentally ill or dangerous, but this becomes very difficult. Many stores can't keep track of these things, and some states have weaker gun regulations than others. This is where the blockchain could help. If only there were a blockchain that could verify the buyer's ID, cross-reference with whether the buyer had any medical flags or criminal history. This whole process can be done very quickly and updated from any gun merchant in any state or country. This blockchain would create global accountability at the point of sale. Will this stop criminals who get their guns through other means? No. But this could very easily inhibit many of the criminals who simply walk into sporting goods stores and buy guns without even the slightest difficulty. This wouldn't have to stop at the regulation of illicit materials. You could use the blockchain to verify the supply chain or the legitimacy of precious gems. The blockchain could digitize the remnants of our physical paper trail. Ever have to search through all your files for the original title to your car in order to sell it? Ever freak out because you couldn't find your birth certificate? Right now, we rely on notarized official documents, but why couldn't we just use a public ledger? If the dealership transferred the ownership of the car from the previous deed holder to the new deed holder on the blockchain, then that entire process would be unnecessary. Closing thoughts. There is no doubt that blockchain technology will play a critical role in the future of our world. The ability to reliably verify trustless transactions is simply too great of a technological step forward to not have a lasting impact. Similarly, cryptocurrencies aren't going anywhere, though there's no guarantee that any particular currency will survive. Technological progress can be viewed as paradigm shifts brought on by transformative technologies. I can wholeheartedly say that we are experiencing the beginning of a new era. There is no doubt in my mind that the blockchain will reorganize our world and have a profound effect on the future. I'm excited to see how this world unfolds, and I hope that this book acts as your first step into this new frontier. The end. This has been the audiobook version of Bitcoin for Blockheads, the No More Than Your Friends Guide to Bitcoin and the Blockchain. Read by Tasheme Thomas. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.